Good morning, Cross Church family. My name is Zach Kordic. I'm the youth pastor here at Cross Church, and it is my honor and privilege to bring the weekly devotional to you. I'm going to open with scripture today. My scripture is Matthew chapter 13, verses 34 through 35, and it reads, "All these things Jesus said to the crowds in parables. He did not speak to them without a parable, so that what was prophesied through the prophet might be fulfilled. I will open my mouth to utter parables. I will proclaim what is hidden since the creation of the world." We, as human beings, love stories. We love stories and myths. We love tales of drama, of adventure, of love and peril, of dark deeds overcome by the power of light. Stories communicate timeless truths to us in a way nothing else can. And the stories we tell, the myths we love, it says a lot about who we are as individuals and as a society. Now, the medium of those stories doesn't really matter for the sake of our thoughts today. Some of us like films, some of us like to read books, some of us play video games, maybe you like opera. If that's you, more power to you. But I would argue that there is one particular type of story that resonates with us regardless of the medium. And that is a story of sacrifice, specifically where one person, usually a character who has much to lose or who is innocent, gives up something, generally their life, so that another character, sometimes an entire world, can live or escape to freedom. We love these stories. Just a couple of examples at the end of spoilers for movies that are like 20 years old now, but at the end of Gladiator, Maximus uses his last few moments of life to give freedom to his fellow gladiators. At the end of The Dark Knight, Bruce Wayne shoulders the responsibilities of crimes he did not commit in order to keep Gotham City safe from chaos. I will admit that the end of The Dark Knight usually brings a tear to my eye. But why do these stories resonate with us? Why do they move us to tears and cause us to reflect on our lives and our roles? I'm sure you've been in a situation where you've watched a movie or you've read a book and you walk out of the theater or you close the back cover and you're like, wow, I feel profoundly impacted as a person. Like, that moved me. Why does this happen to us? Why does this move us? I think you can answer this question in a lot of different ways, but truly I believe it is because those stories speak to and refract and reflect the great truth of Christ. Our myths are stories. They tell us about who we are and who we can be. To quote C.S. Lewis, one of the great writers of all time, now the story of Christ is simply a true myth, a myth working on us in the same way as the others, but with this tremendous difference that it really happens. And you'll notice, to bring it full circle back to our opening scripture, Christ himself often taught through story and parable, and there are many reasons for this. But I believe one of the primary ones is that we are captivated by stories. We love them. They inspire us. They move us. My wife and I often talk about the stories that we're engaging with independently with each other. We talk about the things that we like and the things that we don't like. But I find more and more as we talk about those things that the stories that both of us are drawn to are the ones where an unlikely hero or someone who shouldn't have to, go on a quest or defeat evil is the person who has to do it, right? Good examples of that are Frodo Baggins from The Lord of the Rings. He's a character who deserves a peaceful life, but he undertakes a perilous quest in order to save not just his life, but the lives of his friends and the lives of people he doesn't know. And I think that resonates greatly. It reflects the story of Christ, because if there was any person, if there was any man who ever lived that deserved peace and security and to live a quiet life, it was Jesus, because he was perfect. But instead of taking hold of that security and peace that he deserved, he gave it up so that we could experience peace and security. I think a lot about the way Christ's story reflects throughout history in the lives of believers, in the lives of the apostles, in the lives of the disciples. And I, especially as we approach Easter, I encourage you to examine the week of the Passion in a new light. Really think about what Jesus endured, and remember that this is not simply a story in a book. It is, as C.S. Lewis says, the true myth, the myth that overpowers all, the myth that really happened. It is the story that to this day, 2,000 years later, resonates with people on the deepest level imaginable. Church, I love you. Thank you for letting me share my thoughts with you today. I hope you have a great week.